My dear friends, welcome to Rajashekhar classes on applied data science with Python. This is lecture number 82. In this lecture, we will try to understand dispersion. A measure of spread or sometimes called a measure of dispersion is used to describe the variability in a sample or population. A measure of spread gives us an idea of how well the mean, for example, represent the data. It is usually used in conjunction with a measure of central tendency, such as mean or median, to provide overall description of a set of data. Means, I can say like this: the reliability of measure of central tendency is the dispersion, because many times the central tendency mislead the people. So the reliability of that central tendency is calculated by or identified by its corresponding dispersion. It is used to compare dispersion of various samples. That's why whenever you plot the data after calculating central tendency, that may be mean or median, reliability of central tendency must be explained by dispersion. Look at this data. The first row, no variability in cash flow. The second row indicates variability in cash flow. If you look at only the mean, it is the same. Just see, first row mean is same as second row mean, but in first row no variability in cash flow, but whereas in second row there is a variability or dispersion in cash flow, isn't it? But if you look at second row set, it has more variability. Therefore, quality of mean is explained by variability. That is nothing but dispersion. Why? Because even though there is a variability, you are getting same mean. Now, we will try to understand this variability or dispersion with simple numerical example. Just take first set -10, 0, 10, 20, 30. Your second set 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Mean of first set is 10. Mean of second set is 10. But clearly these set of numbers are different. Look at these data sets. For example, in the case of first set, these numbers are very close to, in here let me say what is my mean. Let me analyze like this. Otherwise, first set of numbers, consider first set of numbers. Let me calculate, this is my first set of numbers. Let me calculate deviations from my mean. First one, 10 minus 8, 1. Second one, 10 minus 9, 1. Third one, 10 minus 10, 0. Fourth one, 10 minus 11, minus 1. 10 minus 12, minus 2. These are the differences between the mean and corresponding points in this particular data set. What about this one? 10 minus 10, 10 minus 10, 20. 10 minus 0, 0. 10 minus 10, 0. 10 minus 20, minus 10. 10 minus 30, I can say minus 20. If you observe this one, in the case of first set, let me assume my first set is minus 0, minus 10, 0, 10, 20, 30. My second set is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But there is a variability, more variability in the case of first set, but there is a less variability in the case of second set. I can say these numbers means minus 10, 0, 10, 20, 30 are farther away from 10. Therefore, I can say these numbers are more dispersed. This sentence is important. More dispersed. Which numbers are more dispersed? Minus 10, 0, 10, 20, 30 compared to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But they have got same mean. Therefore, in this case, we have to make use dispersions like range, variance, standard deviations. You can, that's what we were saying. You can, the reliability of mean can be calculated by these dispersions. Like, anyway, I will discuss what is range, what is variance, what is standard deviation in maybe in lecture number 84, 85, like that. Time being, just understand, if I calculate variance for these two data sets, first data set variance is 200, second data set variance is 2, first data set standard deviation is 10 root 2, whereas second data set standard deviation is root 2. Means almost it is 10 times, isn't it? Therefore, as first data set has got more standard deviation. What is it? How to calculate? I will explain in lecture number 83 or 84. But this particular data set, which particular data set? This particular data set has got standard deviation 10 root 2, whereas this data set has got root 2. Means this particular set 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 has got less deviation compared to minus 10, 0, 10, 20, 30. But that is not represented by mean. Mean is misleading us. That's what we were saying, that the mean misleads the people. It's giving same mean, but there is lot of variability in these two data sets. Anyway, time being, just understand like this. How can I say central may mislead the people? So the reliability of the mean, in that, for that matter, that need not be mean, that may be mode, that may be some other central tendency. Is that reliability of mean is calculated or identified by its corresponding dispersion. This dispersions like range, dispersion like variance, dispersion like standard deviation, these are useful to test the reliability of central tendency. I will discuss these problems related to variance, standard deviations in my future classes. Measures of variability or dispersion. There are different measures of variability. There are dispersions. Range I will discuss maybe in lecture number 83. Interquartile range already we demonstrated in previous lectures. Now I will calculate, I will try to spend few seconds on interquartile range. Again, mean absolute deviation we will discuss, variance we will discuss, standard deviation we will discuss, this coefficient z-score I will discuss. This coefficient of variation in this class only we will try to understand. Now let me explain quartiles. We already discussed quartiles, even we demonstrated what is Q1, what is first quartile, what is second quartile, all those things in our previous lectures only. Anyway, let me repeat it again. Quartile measures the central tendency that divides the data into 4 subgroups: Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. What is Q1? Q1 is 25% of the data set is below the first quartile. In similar manner, Q2, which is also known as median, 50% of the data set is below the second quartile. In similar manner, you can understand Q3. You must understand one thing here. Q1 is first quartile. As I told you, it is 25% of the data set. Here you must understand these quartile values are not necessarily members of the data set. Just see this particular diagram. What it indicates, Q1 is first 25% of the data set, isn't it? This diagram clearly indicates this is first 25% of the data set. Q2 is the first 50% of the data set. This is my Q2, and Q3 is 75% of the data set, isn't it? In similar manner, you can understand. Yes, Q3 is that one. Quartile is used to divide the whole data set into 4 groups. First 25, second 20, first 25, second 25, third 25, last 25, isn't it? As an example for finding quartiles, suppose the data is given. Let me try to explain this quartiles. I already discussed this quartiles in my previous lectures. Anyway, let me repeat it. An example for finding quartile, suppose the data is given. Let me keep that data in particular order, in ascending order, in sorted order. Elements are arranged in ascending order. First we have to find out the Q1. Q1 means quartile 1. How can I find? Q1, as I told you, 25th percentile. So the location of 25th percentile, first we have to find location index as P by 100. That formula I already discussed. 25th percentile means that is P by 100. P means here 25 by 100 into number of observations. How many observations? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 observations, but you are getting an even number. If you get even number, what you have to do? This position and next position average. This is first position, second position. The index is 2. Therefore, 2 plus 3. Second position, third position. Average I have to find. This is the 109 plus 114 by 2. That is 111.5. That is my Q1. In Q2, that is 50th percentile means P is 50 by 100 into number of observations 4. Again 4 is an even number. Since it is an even number, fourth position, fifth position mean 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 116 plus 121 by 2. That is essentially 118.5. In similar manner, you can understand Q3. It is simple. It is simple and straightforward, isn't it? Now, interquartile range. This also I discussed many times. So the dispersion in the data set is measured with the help of interquartile range by using the formula Q3 minus Q1. As we know, Q3 is 75th percentile and Q1 is the 25th percentile. So the range of value in between Q3 and Q1 is IQR. Range in the sense Q3 minus Q1. I already discussed many times this concept. It is a range of middle half. Yes, even if you see in box plot, this is Q3 minus Q1 is the range of middle 50%, left 25%, left tail, right 25, right tail, right whisker, right 25. In between you have 50% data, where that is interquartile range. Just try to recall box plots. It means interquartile range is less influenced by extreme values, because when we collect the data set, we are not going to consider very low values and very high values. So the middle values, which is not affected by extremes. Therefore, it is not affected by extreme values. Now we will try to understand coefficient of variation. Just read these points. These points are very simple theory. You can understand. Let me explain this coefficient of variation with the help of numerical example. Its formula is sigma, standard deviation by mean into 100. What is standard deviation? I will discuss in maybe 84th lecture. Yes, let me explain this one with the help of one numerical example. Just observe these two simple problems. In the case of first data set, this is my first data set. This is my second data set. First data set mu1 is 29. Second data set mu2 is 84. According to mean, if I consider mean, I must prefer second data set. But if you consider standard deviation, if it is having less standard deviation, it's good, isn't it? Sigma 1 4.6, sigma 2 10. This one is less, therefore I must prefer set 1, data set 1. But if you observe mean, you have to prefer data set 2. If you observe standard deviation, I must consider first data set. But there is a contradiction, isn't it? In such case, you can make use coefficient of variation. Here I am getting 15.86. In this case, I am getting 11.90. What does it mean? If you have both have means, I can say, what can I say? If it is having less coefficient of less coefficient of variation, that data set is preferable data set. I can say like this: lower the coefficient of variation, better the data set. Therefore, this data set, second data set, must be preferred. Just go through this lecture. Certainly you can understand. If you have any difficulty, just keep a comment so that we will try to discuss. Thank you very much.